Hey there, welcome to Todd Talks, the podcast where we're shining a light on brilliant local businesses making life better for families with little ones. I'm Bill from Toddler Belt, and in each episode, we'll have a natter with one of our amazing partners, finding out what makes them tick, how they're helping parents, and how being part of the Toddler Belt family is helping them thrive. So grab a cuppa, put your feet up if the kids will let you, and let's dive in. Hi Luke, thanks so much for coming on to Todd Talks. In your own words, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
So, hi everyone, as you said, Bill, I'm Luke. I'm an architectural designer and I have a 1-year-old and I live in Bicester in North Oxfordshire.
Brilliant. So what's your business and what does it do?
So my business is a startup at the moment. Well, I have two, essentially. I am an architectural designer under Storyboard Design. But more recently, I've started up a startup which is called Housemade Ready. And Housemade Ready is essentially helping people who are either curious about their property or the price, or maybe there's someone who has a home that is too small for what they need and they are looking for options to grow it, to extend it, to convert it, or even if it's just looking at how much is my house worth so I could move if I needed to. And it's just, I guess that's where I'm pushing to, because me as a background in architecture, I've come across this thousands of times with families and individuals, or even families who inherited homes and they just, they want to get the best for it and stuff like that to help their family and support their homes.
And I think that's really important. Like, we are, as a family of four, we're in a 2-bed house. We have outgrown it.
Yeah.
We've got the smallest house, decent garden, but what potential have we got? And I come across you guys through some other networking that we do. We'll come to that in a bit. But the scorecard and all that sort of bits, it was really interesting to see quickly what we had on our fingertips.
Yeah, so it's a different approach to what you may find on Rightmove or Zoopla, where you put in your postcode, put in your address, and it gives you a score, like a clear score or an Expedia score, credit check type thing. So the idea behind it, and this is why I'm anchoring more on the architecture side, because there's no point of just giving you a score based on your land value. At least that's a starting point you should start with. And essentially, I created Housemade Ready as a platform that uses that data from UK Land Registry, but it also incorporates several other factors. And key ones for families is, a house's value is also how close it is to a school, to a shop, to a train station, where the bus stop is, and all these things are important to people moving homes or buying a home or wanting to stay there long-term, short-term investment, etc. and so forth. And I think at the moment, you try to find that data yourself. If you were to do it yourself, Bill, how would you go about doing it?
I would be going straight to ChatGPT or Google.
Absolutely, because it takes so much time and a lot of people are overwhelmed. They're like, well, how is it important to me? Yeah. Now, it is absolutely important in my opinion, because you should also know, if you wanted to develop your house or you're looking to buy a house or whatever it may be, how long will it take? What is the market like? What's my return on investment? And, I think the last 15 years of me doing architecture, I've learned this the hard way, of people asking me time and time again, do you know how much this is going to cost? How much is going to cost me? Do you know what the square meterage is? And as an architect, you don't know that. You're not told or trained or, you learn it by picking up quotes or what you've done for other people in certain areas. But realistically, I'm doing the same thing what you just said. I'd probably go on ChatGPT now and ask them for a local idea of cost. Yeah. But still, is that the most unique way of doing it? Probably not, because it's only going to guesstimate. And I think with Housemade Ready, it's 2 parts. First part is, like you said, you put in your address, you get a scorecard, it gives you a result. If it's above 65, give or take, it means there's potential to do something with it. And it's like I said, it's bringing in lots of different factors, everything from your EPC certificate. And if you don't know what that is...
What is that?
So it's your energy performance certificate. You can find it out online. If you bought a house or renting a house, you should have one. Yeah. It's basically how energy efficient your home is. Are you wasting too much money on heating and lighting? And it gives you recommendations. It's a government-backed source. Every home should have one, and it should also give you recommendations. And my score feeds into that as well. Like, it takes that. It's like, if you're going to buy a home or redo a home, most people now are looking for how cheap it is to run. Is it going to cost me $2,000 a year on heating? You want to know what it is. And I think to me, knowledge is power. When it comes to house buying, house potential, knowing what to do with it, being able to have that knowledge first and foremost, and then being able to approach approach a architect or an engineer or a builder or even just an estate agent at the end of the day, or a lender, is being able to say, my house is worth this. It's got a potential of being that. This is what I know. And then you're leveraging on the professionals because you're giving them a baseline.
Yeah.
They can't then tell you another score, which you don't know. Because at the moment I'm not saying this is everyone, but most people are under the mercy of other people professions. And I think the more you know, and the more you understand, it's never a bad thing.
And like the market fluctuates so much.
Exactly.
And it's like we were talking about putting a huge extension on our house. So I was like, no, all my stuff's where I live now. Let's just put a enormous extension and stay here for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to outprice our street.
Exactly.
Our street has a
ceiling
level
price, yeah.
A ceiling.
And that's the thing, what again, another element of that is identifying that ceiling value. It works on then like what other people would do is you go on Rightmove, you put in a price, but what you probably won't know is so if you've got a 4-bedroom house, it will tell you what the most expensive 4-bedroom house is sold in your area.
Yeah.
That would be your ceiling price. It's not to say you'll never smash that ceiling price in the future. You can, absolutely. It depends on how good your house is and where it's located. And that's why I fall back on the algorithm and that data sourcing, because it all feeds into that uniqueness of that score, and that score feeds into the actual true value. And I think, like I mentioned, this is a startup. Seeing what it could be and what it should be, and where it is now, a lot of people go, well, my home isn't that, because that's not what Rightmove says, or that's not what Zoopla says, or it's not what my estate agent says, because they're not actually factoring in all these other little things like PDR rights or how quick the council can get back to you on planning rights and stuff like this. To me, it's all fundamental and it's all needed and important. And especially, if you are, a new mum or a new dad or a parent who, you're looking long term, you're looking at not just, if we have one child, can we afford to have the space? Or you probably, you are looking at 2-3 children, or maybe you don't know, but you want to know if there's expansion in your home that you can deal with, and if not, is the return on equity going to be there in 5 years, so that if you did need to move, can you move quickly?
So let's talk about the process, because I filled in your scorecard. I got my score. We're above your 65.
Yeah, you go.
So we are in the we're very fast outgrowing our house.
Yeah. Okay.
So now I've got the scorecard. I've seen what the potential my house has got.
Yeah.
Now we're going to explore extending.
Okay.
So what would the process be? I'm not obligated to use you, but what if I did?
Yeah, so absolutely. So when you filled out your form, you probably put in your intention. You're probably just looking or you're not looking to sell it or anything like that. So first and foremost, you skip the bypass bit where the estate agent would contact you, because you're not moving, so they won't need to contact you and you won't give their details out. And so what would happen then is, if you were to go down the funnel route with me, the next step would be to get an architectural report. And that architectural report is in-house with us, and we will give you about 9 pages of information about your house, its current location, maybe stuff you already know, stuff maybe you don't know, and then from there we base what would we do if we were appointed as an architect to do this project. And we'll provide you sketches and visuals and costs, and we'll do some quick searches of local recommended builders or trades and who are in that area. And from that point, you go, that's absolutely amazing. What's the next process to add the value to our property? And we're not asking you to do the work straight away. We'll just say, I think the next stage is to get your certificate of lawfulness. And that certificate of lawfulness is about 50% cheaper than getting a planning application done, and it doesn't expire the same way a planning application does. It has got caveats and it has got different rules to play with, but essentially it's your permitted development. What your property is allowed to do without the need of planning.
Everybody knows what the red tape's like.
Exactly.
So the permitted development may be a route people aren't aware of.
Exactly. And if you're a homeowner not looking to sell straight away, permitted development is a good thing, because you would only technically get a certificate of lawfulness if you were trying to sell it, because it's what a mortgage lender would look for. If you're on a mortgage, they would need that as a proof of, is it worth doing? Because the bank owns everyone's house if you're on a mortgage, and so but if you're a homeowner who owns your home outright, or you're getting very into your mortgage, or you're looking to redo your mortgage, having that certificate of lawfulness would show a lender that, hey, if we put an extension on this property and we do these changes, it's going to cost X. And then after that, the property is going to worth X. And typically, you're talking 10 to 15% extra value, depending on what it is, the location, etc.
Great. So, and you contact them if after, or they contact you.
Yeah.
How does it work?
Exactly. So on the 9-page architectural report, it'll have next steps.
Yeah.
You're not obligated to call us. You could just take that and go, I've got my report. I could do my own research in my own time. No. So
let's just be sort of clear here. Yeah. That report is not a structural report.
No,
it's not a survey.
No, it's an architectural sketch, essentially.
Yeah, people going, oh, great, I can get a free survey here.
Yeah, it's not that. So if you were to do that, if you wanted that survey done, we can absolutely provide that. Yeah. We could come over to your house, we could do a measured survey, we could do the whole thing to accordance to all the regulations. And then from there, we can then either do it ourselves in-house, and that's where I guess I'm leveraging on my second business, which is storyboard design. And we could do your architectural drawings, your builder reg drawings, and all of that. So if you wanted to do the work, alternatively, we can give it out to outsource it to yourself, so you can go out to other architects, other builders, and get them to price it equally.
I suppose like a builder could be using your services, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And a builder could be doing it for his own home or for a customer.
Absolutely. And and I guess the other side that wouldn't necessarily associate with homeowners, but if you're in the market of buying a house or wanting the house, come chat with us, because what we could end up doing for you is that we are eventually in the future hoping to have a network of trades and services that will be able to give you fixed quotes. So you can then take all them drawings for a house maybe you're looking to buy or in the process of buying.
Yeah.
You could have just done the sale agreed and you're in that process of negotiating. Now, that takes 6 months, 9 months to get a house in the UK these days?
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And so a typical permitted development takes about 6 weeks. To 8 weeks, depending on the council.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm not saying you can go ahead and do it because you need to be the legal owner, but you can definitely start the ball rolling of at least getting a sketch done, getting some initial quotes to it, and then once you get down the route of, okay, there's a return value on this, you never know, you can maybe ask your lender and be a little bit cheeky and say, like, can we throw this onto our mortgage?
And has that happened?
Not yet, no, right. But I'm still in the early days, so I'm still testing it. But I've spoken to many mortgage brokers, and their big bug hate is what they have is when they get homeowners turn to them and say, we want to extend our house. Okay, how would you want to do? Oh, we want to put a big extension on the kitchen. Okay, so have you got any quotes or drawing? No, but we want the money to be able to do it so we can get all that. And it's that catch-22, like they need the money to be able to do it, but in order to get the money, they need to actually spend money. And that's why we're coming in. We hopefully have a low bar threshold. And it's cheap enough to get in. It's cheap enough to actually explore that idea. And then if you wanted to invest in it, you can. It gives you that option very clearly. I think, I would encourage everyone to try Housemaid Ready. It's free to use. And for now until the end of February, if you wanted I don't know if you did it yourself, the full report, which you pay for.
So I used your magic code.
Yes, you used the magic code. So how easy was it?
It was pretty easy. I was like, because it's $5.99 or
$5.95.
$5.95 when it asked you for the Stripe, and I was like, I've got my wife's unaware that we're moving.
Yeah,
she's unaware that I'm thinking of an extension.
Yeah.
So I went, do you know what? Oh, but there's the code. Can you tell us the code? Because it's valid
it's
till the end of February.
SSR 100.
Okay.
It does pop up and it's very intuitive on the website.
And then it comes out zero fee. So
exactly.
No banks.
Exactly. And it basically what I look for is, like you said, Bill, is it value for you and what insight? And if you could provide feedback or comment or see my social pages, I'd be good, because I do this for likes of homeowners, like for families who really just want to know what their house is worth and quickly.
We are in that situation. Like I said before, we've outgrown our house, but we've got a relatively it's the biggest garden in the road. Can we extend? Is it worth it? What's the ceiling? Is this our forever home? are we moving to our next property just for the sake of getting up that ladder and moving again? So the survey really did help me.
I mean, you might not even be looking to do it right now, but for example, if you got a 30-year mortgage and you may have just moved, maybe you want to know what it's worth for your kids in the future. If there's anything you can do now that can elevate that price, and like you said about the ceiling price, you don't want to go above it, but even if you were to go above it, because it is maybe your forever home, but it may not be your kids' forever home.
No, exactly.
And you might see that as a potential
it's
gain.
Interesting you said that. So I forwarded this on to my dad, because they've got a house. It's far too big for my mum and dad now. Me and my siblings, we've all moved out, and they were like, oh, I don't know what it's worth, I don't know what we can do. And I just went, it's a great house for a family, we grew up there. So I sent him the report, and I was just like, just stick your details in. It's going to take you 5 minutes. It just lays out your options for even those families who have, maybe they're going to inherit a house. For the record, my parents have made it clear that's not happening for me. But it's that you can sort of future-proof your parents and what their options are.
Absolutely. And with House Made Ready, you hit the nail on the head there, because with my grandparents, they downsized a couple of years back, and I wish I had this service, or somebody had this service probably 3-4 years ago, because they have it was a 4-bedroom detached house in Hampshire, in Winchester.
Yeah.
And it was a great house. They call it the developer's home in the 70s. So, they paid a cool $14,500 for it.
Doesn't even cover the deposit now.
No, it doesn't. And, they really wanted to move and downsize and retirement, be closer to the village centre and stuff like that, and which we understand. My grandma was itchy fingers and wanted to move like tomorrow. But, my granddad was a bit different. He wanted to keep it, let's get the most value for it. And the problem was, in my mind, is that people couldn't see the potential or the inside of the property. So, you got this house that they put on the market for, I think it was back in 2018, 2019. They put it on the market for 720, sorry. That's
720.
720,000. Right. And they accepted 480.
Whoa.
Just because they wanted to move quickly. And I think you got shortchanged, because you're leveraging on your estate agent. And I'm not criticizing estate agents at all. I want to partner with them because I want to give them that insight as well. Is that to say, like, this house is worth this. This is because it can do that. And that to me is the magic number, especially from a home seller, like you say, people who may want to sell their property or look what the equity is. But you're leveraging that both from a homeowner and an estate agent perspective, because you can use that data and it's valuable for everyone involved.
So what's the biggest piece of information you want to get across to, and who is that person? Who's your ideal customer? What do you want to get across?
Yeah, I mean, what I want to get across is that understand your home in a sense. So my ideal customer is the homeowner, the one who may be wanting to buy or wanting to sell. I think it's because I feel like too many times people don't understand what the value of their home is in a potential upbringing, what can you do to it? Can we invest in it? Because, it is your biggest expense in your lifetime. It will be your house, most likely. So you make sure you can get the maximum value for it, whether it's now or in 20 years' time. It will change, obviously. Yeah. But, it's understanding your property more than just bricks and mortar and what you've paid for it. And, is it worth it? Because I had one client who wanted to put as many bedrooms because they think it's bedrooms add value. Not necessarily. Like if you look at the algorithms and stuff, for example, we take Oxford. Oxford value open plan, thoughtful spaces. It doesn't mention anything about how many bedrooms. If they've got four little pokey bedrooms, that's not worth anything to anyone. Yeah. But if you've got 3 well thought out spaces with a nice master ensuite, that's going to sell a lot more than your 4-bed. And you'd be surprised, like the mindset people think, more bedrooms, not necessarily.
I think that's a really key point, because we just go, right, how many bedrooms can I get for my budget? So I think that's a really good thought process. Now, we've obviously spoke about Oxfordshire quite a lot.
Yeah.
Are you limiting to there, or
absolutely not?
So
no.
Where are you serving?
Most of England,
basically. So we're serving nationally.
Yeah, because it's a model that it basically uses UK land registry. So anywhere in the UK, it could be anywhere from Scotland to Wales. It's all on that database.
Yeah.
So obviously not every property. It could be in the outskirts outskirts of somewhere and may not even have a postcode. But obviously that's a bit different. But most houses have a land registry somewhere in the UK, so it can serve anyone. And the idea of this in the next 12 months is that if you were considering by building your property, you will have that local connections between builders to electricians to plumbers, and hopefully it speeds everything up for you.
You'll have those connections through Homemade Ready.
Yes, correct. That's the idea. That's the future bit.
Oh, nice. Okay. So if for example we're going to go down the new property I'm going to buy somewhere route, I could be using this service to go.
Absolutely.
And I might be getting more of a mortgage for expansion from the beginning.
I've had someone who gave me feedback and said, this is absolutely perfect. I can just go on Rightmove, put in the postcode, put in the address of each property I like the look of, find a score on it, and it'll give me a quick insight about that property's future. Whereas currently I have no idea what that property's future, unless I talk to someone. And so
you're going to get a bias of thought process.
Oh, I'm sure. If they want to go down, obviously the scorecard is very unique and very at the moment it's free, but it's very quick to do. And it'll give you, if you want to pay for the full report to get a really in-depth insight, it's not expensive to do, especially if you are in the market of looking and you want to make the right choice. If then you want to go down the route of actually architecturally drawing it out, come speak to us. We'll have a consultation. We can have a talk. We can sit through what it is you like to look of. And, send me your Pinterest. Send me your TikTok or whatever it is.
Don't ask my wife for her Pinterest. She'll say, which board do you want?
Yeah, exactly. So it's about, working with homeowners and families and getting the most out of it, especially if you're looking to buy as well, because it's the most nervous and stressful time of your life, probably.
It's one of the biggest expenses you're ever going to purchase, right?
So I'm a very down-to-earth person. And like I said, my architectural business, Storyboard Design, is very narrative led, and what that means is I like to understand the person behind the house and understand what it is they want and what it is they need. Like you said, you're outgrowing yours. Well, let's have a look at what we could do. Where could we go? What was your budget? It's about understanding that, as opposed to me going, I know what I want. I know what you need.
So let's talk about you for a bit. Why are you doing this?
Like I mentioned, I came up through the route of architecture. So I started off going to the University of Portsmouth. Then I did the Centre for Alternative Technologies in Wales. So I came up through the sustainable architectural route and doing my masters and stuff like that. And I think where I started working for myself and becoming self-employed was due to my son, who is now 4 and at school. And, but at the time I had very much a work-life balance issue that my employer wouldn't give at the time. And I think from there, I just kind of like, I can do this.
We come across a lot of businesses and parents that it's being flexible, being present for your children.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly why we're here, why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The roles that I've had previously, being on the traditional PAYE, didn't give me that flexibility to be that school run dad.
Yeah.
I know you've got to get back to pick your lad up today.
I am the school run dad. I'm the house, the dad taxi. I'm everyone, because my partner works a normal 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
And so she's not there in the morning to take him to school and normally not there at the end of the day to pick him up. So, it's that flexibility, like you said. And I think my son is cherishing that every bit, to the point where I do everything for him, and he knows it. So he's like, Dad, we're going here. Dad, can we do this? Dad, can we go there?
Because he's found out from the Talk About magazines.
He's found out a lot of things that he's been able to tweak me a little bit and then just go and manipulate me. And so, it's that kind of pressures and flexibility. And I think, that's what I cherish the most. And, like you say, your magazines has given me insight to, weekends away and even half terms of things that are happening in Oxfordshire or, where I'm from. And just being able to go, oh, look, we could do this weekend, or we can go there on the half term. And that's brilliant for that magazine. And
are you picking the magazine up, or are you a subscriber?
I'm picking it up. So I see it in soft plays, I see it in out and about centres, and I just grab it, flick through it while he's playing in the soft play. But no, it's great. It's a great resource, and definitely have one soon.
And that was unscripted. You said that all, and there's no gun to your head here.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. So it's really nice that we've found each other through the networking that we're both doing, but also you found it as a dad. You've heard of Toddle About before I've even prompted that. So that's
I've taken photos many of times of your pages and shared them with my partner and go, look, we should be doing this. We should go here.
Do you know what? That's music to my ears that the system's working.
No, definitely.
Brilliant. Okay, Luke, How can people get in touch? What's the link for the? We'll try and add all this.
To the
notes.
You can have a look on my social media links if you want to. It's all under Housemade Ready, or you can obviously go onto my website, which is housemadeready.co.uk. And like I said, just sign up. It's simple to do. It's free to do, and yeah, I'd love more traction on it, and I love to be able to see and help as many people as I can.
And if you're estate agents, builders, and all these guys, you welcome those communications.
Absolutely. At the moment, I'm trying to onboard estate agents because I want to help them as well as much as I can, because this service will benefit them at the end of the day. So if you're an estate agent and you want to use the service for 3 months for free, let us know. And we'll get you in touch, we'll get you on board, and you can start putting your client base in currently if you wanted to, and start getting scores up to basically have that competitor's edge.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for coming.
No worries.
Is there anything else you need to say, get across, or tell me?
No, that's it. Thank you. I mean, like I said, your service you provide is amazing. Actually, it's really, really well thought through. And for families, it's a great asset, because as a new parent without any family support near me, I think we're a 2-hour away on either direction from family. So we don't have that support network. And so being able to go, what can we do today or this week or next week or on the half term or something, it's gold dust in that regard.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Luke. And
Thank you.
We'll catch up in a year or so and see what's going on.
Yes, certainly.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's it for today's episode of Todd Talks. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you found something helpful, heartwarming, or just plain inspiring from today's chat. If you're a parent listening, I'd love to know, what do you want to hear more of? More behind the scenes with local classes, tips from experts, honest stories from fellow parents? Drop me a message at toddtalks@toddleabout.co.uk. This podcast is for you, and your voice really matters. And if you're a local business helping families and thinking, I'd love to be part of this, well, you can. Get in touch and we'll have a chat about how we can shine the light on what you do and connect you with families who need you. So until next time, take care, give your little ones an extra cuddle today, and remember, we're in this together.